It's fantasy football draft season. We're getting closer to the 2025 NFL season. Things are getting hot. Things are ramping up. And today we're looking at a batch of players getting ready for our drafts or just our confirmation bias that we drafted the right player. But we're going to look at lottery ticket dart throws. Guys who are trending up. Guys we're not drafting. Guys that we're drafting all the time. It's all right here. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now, because we're talking about these players every day. We're talking about draft strategies. We're going to help you out with the waiver wire, and we're going to find those prospects a few weeks earlier so you have them before the run starts on the fab bidding. On top of that, we're going to help you set those lineups. Click that button. Stop missing out. We're starting off with Jaylen Noel. I've not talked about him in a bit. But when you think about Joe Mixon, you think about Nick Chubb, you think about Woody Marks, you think about the changes in the run game, one thing that's been coming to mind lately is that they're going to throw it a little bit more. The trio is Christian Kirk, Jaden Higgins, Nico Collins. Basic 12-man league, 16 rounds. Jaylen Noel is a lottery ticket, but my lottery tickets are almost all running backs. So if you're really asking me, I'm not drafting him much in basic 12-man, 16-round drafts. And if it's less than that, no. But he is a wide receiver I'm going to be paying attention to very hard throughout the season. His tape stands out from Iowa State. You go watch Jaden Higgins, you're watching Jaylen Noel too, because he's going to be standing out, creating separation. You watch Jaylen Noel, Higgins stands out. These guys are like the Bash brothers off the Mighty Ducks. I don't think you guys realize this. Those two guys go together. And I bet you Noel's going to be on the field sooner than later, because you cannot cover him. He is slippery. And he's a twitched up wide receiver. He's got good speed. And he's a guy that's going to be out there. Christian Kirk's going to start it off. You got the crafty veteran. A matter of time. Just pay attention. This is a waiver wire player that we're looking at, unless you want to make the lottery ticket dart throw. We're looking at Travis Etienne, RB33 off the board. Really depends on how your draft is going. But if you're going with an anchor running back, you're slamming wide receivers after that, this might be the guy you're going after. You might be looking at this Jacksonville backfield. You might be going after him or Tank or Toot Toots. Maybe you're going after one of them. But the Jacksonville backfield is a very interesting backfield this year. They're going to be using multiple running backs. It's going to be run heavy, but they're going to also use them in the passing game. Travis Etienne might rejuvenate this year. He was banged up last year. The year prior, he was one of the top running backs in the league in terms of fantasy football production. He did not live up to the value last year. Now he's super cheap. He is super cheap. He is down there with the RB2s. The thing is, he is the starting running back. He is the one, but it could be more like 1A, 1B still, which I believe it's going to be. But he's still going to be getting the work in the passing game. He's still explosive. He does have some competition waiting in the wings, waiting to take that over, so he can't slip up. So that's good and bad. Hopefully that motivates him to keep the pedal to the metal. And if he does, you're going to get a big season. But he's cheap this year. He's that Tyron Tracy price tag right now. He's good in the passing game. If you're looking at that build, getting a here RB, going Travis Etienne after smashing wide receiver, or say it's Tyron Tracy, I think that's a good build. If you're stacking up running backs, then I'd probably stay away. If you're good at running back, 2-3 deep before you're here, maybe you go rookie running back instead. Maybe you start going those RB2s with the upside, like Cam Scadaboo or something deeper than that. Maybe you do something like that. Really depends on your build this year. It's more in strategy than it is player good, player bad this season, because there's going to be multiple ways to win leagues this year. There's going to be a million different ways to win leagues and make money in fantasy football. Another way to do it, just remember the strategies. Kyren Williams is good. He's not going to be losing much work. The only thing that's going to cause him to change is something that causes him to change. It just ain't going to randomly happen. Like, he isn't going to randomly lose a ton of touches. Now, it could reduce like 5% naturally with how high those numbers were with them bringing in a 4th-round running back and Hunter, that could naturally happen, but not to the degree that he just falls off the table. It could be injuries. It could be not injuries to him, but to the offensive line, changes and matchups, all that stuff. But the workload's going to be there. There are some efficiency dichotomies as you look through the numbers here. That makes sense if you're a little bit worried. But when you look at the price tag, as he was creeping up after the signing, after he got extended, he was a little bit cheaper. The confidence with Kyren Williams always going to be there because he's a very reliable player. Sean McVay likes him. You could get 2 wide receivers and get Kyren Williams. And then his backup running backs are cheap. They are waiver wire players. So you can get that handcuff if you want it. You can make that decision depending on what's on the board. David Montgomery, I haven't talked about him much. One of the rumors I heard from camp is Jahmyr Gibbs was getting more work than usual. That could be indictment for Montgomery going into the season. Also could be a lot of nothing. Maybe they're keeping him fresh. He did have a knee issue last year. Another thing, that knee issue, does that come back into play early in the season? Do we get a full year out of David Montgomery? When he's healthy, him and Gibbs, he's rocking it. 16 points per game last year. He is getting older. This is another season. He's expensive, but he's also an RB2, getting a lot of red zone touches. You can also go with some of the rookie running backs here. Harvey, Hendo, Johnson. There's also some other veteran running backs here at play. If you want to pivot, James Conner's in this area. You're also looking at Pacheco, Tony Pollard. Those are some safe running backs. But Monty, as far as we know, going into 2025, sounds like a safe running back prospect to look at. T-Mac, I like him. I like him a lot. And I believe he's going to get 6-7 targets a game. Average depth of target, 11, 12, 20+% target share. I believe there's going to be a little bit of a ramp-up period. First 4 or 5 weeks of the season, maybe first 3 to 5, maybe call it out like that, where it could be anticlimactic. I believe once we hit to a certain point, week 6 onward, week 10 onward, that he's just going to be making it rain. Like he's going to be killing it. And you got to be patient with him during the first month of the season. But after that, Halloween time onward, just cashing out left and right. Wide receiver 1 week, high end wide receiver 2 weeks. He's going to get balls downfield. He's going to get a lot of work around the red zone. In the preseason, they were hyper targeting him. Even when he shouldn't have been targeted, they would target him. Doesn't matter which quarterback, they were looking his way. I like T-Mac a lot. Tyler Warren is a later tight end prospect, and you might catch him a little bit cheaper in your drafts, especially home league drafts. And if that's the case, he's a good upside flyer. And when I look at him versus Colson Loveland going into this season, I think Warren is going to be the safer bet. Drafters are saying the same thing with how you're seeing him come off the board. Tight end 9 versus tight end 10. Right now, Colson's getting worked in and out of the lineup with him and Kmet. Warren's a little bit safer. Njoku is very safe with Flacco. I'm in on Njoku, and he's a little bit cheaper. He's got that brown stink on him, making him a little bit cheaper in drafts. But if you like Warren, I think he's going to be fine here with Danny Dimes. And Danny Dimes might hyper-target him. That's the thing about this. And on top of that, what's going to help him is you got a lot of good wide receivers around him, which isn't great for fantasy, but it's also great for a rookie tight end where you're not 100% reliant on him, and he can just work. He's going to be good all over the place. He's one of those players that's going to adapt quickly to the game. On top of that, with him being at this price tag, you're looking at the tight end position that can be very fluky week to week. And if you want to take an upside flyer, but a good one, that's a good price tag for that. Week to week, even the down games, he's still not going to be too far off from being a tight end 1. Usually, if you're tight end 25, you're only a few points away from being tight end 12, tight end 6, tight end 8, 9, 10. That's something to pay attention to. And with the upside here, you could be getting a tight end that cashes week in and week out. Keandre Lambert-Smith, upside flyer, speed to burn. Might be getting you some splash weeks. Great for best ball, great for DFS. Lottery ticket dice roll right now in redraft, setting lineups. 12-man, 16 rounds, outside the scope. 12-man, 16-round league. I'm drafting lottery ticket running backs. Brashard Smith, DJ Giddens, I like them. I'm looking at Jarquez Hunter as a stash. Will Shipley as a stash. Kyle Money Guy is banged up, but I want that money. That being said, I'm stashing running backs. But if you're looking for a lottery ticket wide receiver that could go nuclear somewhere down the line, whether you're drafting him or watching off the waiver wire, Lambert-Smith, watch him out. But Marvin Harrison Jr., good numbers last year. 22.2% target share, ADOT 13.5. I'd rock with that on a year 2 wide receiver every year that got drafted in the first round. Kyler Murray is the question. Can Kyler Murray get a little bit more accurate? If he's a little bit more accurate, like 10 to 15% better, you're probably looking at 3 to 5 wide receiver weeks, 13 to 14 points per game. Still kind of expensive, but you're also looking at the upside of more with Marvin Harrison Jr. as he's developing. Like, he's stronger at the catch point. He's jacked up more, and he's got more competition now in camp with Johnson there. They drafted him. Now he's got battles every day in camp. That's going to help him. Iron sharpens iron. He's an upside play. And when I think about this, when you're looking at this part of the draft, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin, Jack Smith-Njigba, and you're looking at the wide receivers like Devonta Smith, J-Mo, Xavier Worthy. How many of these wide receivers could exceed expectations to the point we're jumping Ladd McConkey, Rashee Rice, Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins, Drake London? Who's all doing that? Who's the most likely to do that? If he gets better targets, there's a chance he's jumping those wide receivers, and that's why you're drafting him. The reason why you're not, to contradict, but to argue, is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray. That's the reason why. That's the reason why. So you got to figure out whether you're in or out with that. But that thought process, that exercise, hopefully helps you out. Brashard Smith is one of my flyers. He's one of my lottery ticket running backs. And I may not draft him, but if I don't draft him and he falls to the waiver wire, I am watching him like a hawk. And I'm watching him like a hawk nonetheless to help you guys. But I'm watching his snaps. I'm watching his routes. If those start to increase any way, shape, or form, off waivers. I don't care if he's scoring 0 fantasy points or 10. I am picking him up because he's going to get work in the passing game. 4.3 speed, hybrid running back wide receiver. He's their Jerick McKinnon. And once he's acclimated, once they feel good about him, he's blast off. Rashee Rice might be suspended. Off waivers. Quick. You may have to pick him up anyways in your leagues. Matthew Golden might be the surprise wide receiver in your league. Going in the middle rounds. Might be the surprise first round wide receiver. Looking good in training camp. When you think about it, Reed second rounder. Dubs is, he's good. He's good enough to play in the league. But he's not a top tier player. You look at Matthew Golden's history. You look at the production. You're like, I don't know. I don't really like it. Breakout age so-so. Counting stats are so-so. Worked through injuries throughout his career, though. And you watch that tape against Georgia. Dicing up DBs. He's been dicing up DBs in camp. Had some drops, some miscues in camp, but drives off the price, though. Helps the price because he's been mossing, too. He's been looking good. A lot of the content creators, not the beat writers, content creators, calling him wide receiver 1. They can play in and play out. Whether he plays good or bad, they can make content and make money off of him. They can make money off of him playing bad. They can make money off of him playing good. So it doesn't matter. They just need to make the money. They're saying he's wide receiver 1. That's something to pay attention to. He's going to be out in the field. Love does not care. He targets all the wide receivers. That is the problem with the Packers offense. But 4.3 speed. They like stretching it downfield. We saw that before. Now we're looking at Golden. He's going to be all over the place. Isaiah Bond. You are not drafting him. 12-man, 16-round leagues. You're not drafting him. You're paying attention to him, though. They're trying very hard to get him up to snuff. They're trying very hard to get him out there on the field. They're trying very hard to get him ready. That has been evident throughout preseason, those first couple practices. They're trying very hard to get Bond ready. We're watching the snaps, weeks 1, 2, 3, or 4. If they start to trend up, off waivers. Off. I do not care. 0 points or 10. I'm picking him up. Flacco's a wild card for fantasy production. Jerry Jeudy, Tillman, wild cards. on their fantasy production. They could be splashing a little bit. They could. Bond's got speed. Bond can break off routes. He's got something to prove now. Deontay Johnson's gone. Room more for Bond. They don't need Johnson. Thrash is good. I liked him as a prospect for what he is. They paid Bond second round to third round money. High-end third round, late second round money. And you're looking at Bond here. They're trying to get him involved early. I'm telling you, watch the routes, snaps. Don't have to draft him now. Keon Coleman, big-time playmaking machine. If you remember Gabe Davis in this offense, that's what we're going to evolve to. That's what these numbers say. 15.5% target share, 8 out of 15.2. That's what those numbers say. Joshua Palmer's looking good. Shakir's going to be Shakir. Elijah Moore's going to be moved around getting work. I look for the targets to be a little bit tricky. This team will change up the game script big time and be run heavy if it needs to be. Keon Coleman's going to be streaky, but he's going to have some big time weeks. I was saying 3 to 5 major wide receiver 1 weeks. 25 plus point performances. 3 to 5 of them. I'm going to say about 8 to 10 games under 10. And then the rest wide receiver 2s. And some of you guys are going to love that. Some of you guys are going to hate that. But that's what I'm going to call here on Keon Coleman. I'm going to say when we look past this, some people who look at points per game, they're going to feel fine about him. Some people who have to set lineups with him, they're going to hate him. And some people are going to win a lot of money with him on daily fantasy football, especially in the right matchup. Those are the 12 players we're looking at today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.